accursed, foreign to God, alien, and barbarians that should be fought instead of their brothers. On top of that, we're in the service of demons. And so a satanic, pagan race. Now think about propaganda. I mean, back then, how many people in Europe had interacted with Muslims in their daily lives? Like you think about now how dehumanization becomes possible without interaction. Think about that world and the way that peoples were separate, and how when you portray a people like that, you give license to kill in an entirely different way. On top of that, he calls on robbers to become knights, meaning we will release our prisoners and our most brutal people and send them out into battle. He calls on robbers to become knights. He offers full amnesty for any crime that's been committed, so long as you go to the Muslim world and you fight against the Muslims and you serve in these crusades. He offers debt relief in response. Open spoils of war. Whatever you can collect in the battlefield, collect it. It is yours. And the last thing, the icing on the cake, full redemption of sin when you kill the pagans. And so whatever sins you have committed before will be gone when you enter into the Muslim world and when you serve in this holy war against the Muslim world. By the way, when I say it's relevant and this precedes what will happen in Jerusalem, just read the papers of Donald Rumsfeld and John Ashcroft and the Bush administration and the orders they were giving to the military before the invasion of Iraq. It was crusader language, invoking specific references from the Crusades, and that's how you portray a people, and that's how you dehumanize them and become inhumane yourself. What does that lead to and translate into? What is the introduction of the Crusaders to the Muslim world before Jerusalem? The most significant one is what is known as the Massacre of Ma'arra. The Massacre of Ma'arra. This takes place in December of 1098, and it's around modern day Idlib. SubhanAllah, when you think about all that Idlib has been through. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala see forth the entire liberation of our brothers and sisters and completion of their victory in Syria. Allahumma ameen, what they've been through. So the massacre of Ma'arra is particularly, as Ibn al-Athir rahimahullah says, the most shocking incident of the Crusaders entering into the Muslim world and really put on display their immorality. Like it became a legend. The way that they acted in Ma'arra became legendary in the sense of evil. It sent shockwaves that a people could do this. Now keep in mind, this precedes the Mongols. Right? We're not even talking about the Tatar and what would come from them yet, and at the hands of the Tatar. So this was really, really new to see the way that a people would behave, especially while carrying crosses, right? They're coming in the name of religion, plunging into the Muslim world with the flags of crosses sanctioned by the Pope. And what do they do in Ma'arra? Ibn al-Athir rahimahullah says they massacred 30,000 civilians in cold blood. 30,000 Muslims, they put them to the sword in cold blood. If you look up, this is what there are chapters in books called When the Crusaders Became Cannibals. When the Crusaders became cannibals. Because subhanAllah, at this point, what they unleashed of themselves in that process. We look at what the Zionists do in Gaza and we think, how crazy are these people? Like how do they not see how beastly they have become in the process of making us into animals? How crazy and beastly have they become? You have to think about what the Crusaders had in their mind about the Muslim world that was taught to them before they came to the Muslim world, and how that sanctioned beastly behavior that maybe was foreign to them before. And so Albert of the Franks, this is from their side, he writes that in Ma'arra, our troops boiled pagan adults in cooking pots. We boiled them in cooking pots, and we devoured grilled children on skewers. They ate the people. They cooked and they ate the people. And this was supposed to be a sign of their domination over the Muslim world, but in the process, they had unlocked the evil, the true evil that was present inside of them, and what they planned to do with the rest of the Muslim world. As for the exploitation of women, as for what was done beyond murder, our imagination can go to the worst of places, because clearly they had no limits in what they were willing to do to the Muslim world as they came into Asham, as they started to pillage the area. And then you come to Jerusalem. The sad thing about Jerusalem is that when you move to July 15th, 1099, July 15th, 1099, it only took them 5 weeks to take Al-Quds. 5 weeks, a little over a month. And that's a sign of how weakened the Muslim world had become, how much we had relinquished the grip of glory that we had from the time of Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu.